What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Nerd Acumen Wrestling. This is episode 21, and of course the rules are simple. Vote on who you think will win the match. You get 1 point. Person with the most points at the end of the night gets to decide a match on the next show. Tonight's show, however, is brought to you by Locksteady, who won the most picks on the previous show, our 20th episode, the pay-per-view event known as Asylum. He has determined tonight's card, so don't get mad at me on the choices, get mad at him. But again, thank you all for joining us. Welcome to the stream, Sarah, Locksteady, and welcome back, Brett. You've been absent for a little while, so welcome back to the show. Life wanted to come bite you in the ass, you said. That's never fun, but welcome back. You haven't missed much. You're still holding things down as champion here on NAW. I'm sure you've seen some stuff on YouTube if you haven't been watching this live, obviously. So welcome back. You are in the main event tonight against your bitter rival, Mr. Locksteady. Versus, tell me something I don't know. I don't know. Brett says I am the main event. Indeed. Running the show. And speaking of show, we're going to kick things off with a rematch of our tag team championship from the pay-per-view event. Again, the new champions were crowned on the right, Team 5 Below, Rabbit, and Phoenix, and the challengers are going to be Mikey and Donnie. So chat, this is where you get your votes in. So let me know who you want to win, or who you are picking to win, rather. Tornado Tag Team, Mikey, Donnie, or 5 Below. Get your votes in now. I could face a jobber, it wouldn't be main event worthy. Yikes. He's calling you out, Rob. The self-proclaimed jobber, that is. So we have our votes coming in here. 5 Below for Sarah, Brett, and Rabbit. Getting their votes in here for 5 Below. And Lock for 5 Below. Low-cost wrestlers. iRob says Party Rock. Going for the opposing team there. Welcome to the stream, iRob and Rabbit here. Thanks for joining us tonight. So again, this is a rematch clause in effect here. The new champions, 5 Below, winning it at Asylum. And then the challengers here, of course, being known as Party Rock to iRob. So we'll see if they can hold it down. So yes, Party Rock and 5 Below. Andrew, you getting your pick in?
Johnny and Mike.
And you're voting for Mikey and Donnie. Raven, welcome back. The ratings were down without you. Welcome back. Would you like to get a vote in? Make yourself known here. I'd love to see you get some picks right and get back into the title picture. Glad to have you back. So let's kick things off here with the entrances. And Raven, feel free to vote along. Glad to have you back. I did pick at the end. Where did I miss that? Okay, yep, 5 Below. I missed it. So Raven, sorry about that. Anyone else's stream frozen? Andrew, you getting a frozen stream? Yeah, looks clear. Might be just you, iRob. Anyone else getting problems with the stream, let me know. Everyone's in the green for me right now. So sorry you're getting a lag. So now the challengers, Team Party Rock, as they're being called, are making their appearance here as champions again. We have Team 5 Below. They've been chasing those belts for a while. So let's see if they can hold on to them. Chat seems to be in favor of them as well, so the crowd favorites here. Chris says he's a legend. Brett might be the first person to enter the NAW Hall of Fame. Speaking of Hall of Fame, horrible segue, but 2K19 is releasing soon, and we're going to be transitioning to that game. So you're going to see that game coming soon. What's up, TC? How's it going? Rob says it's back working. Good to hear. So again, this opening contest is for the Undisputed DNA Tag Team Championships here. As you can see on the screen, it's a Tornado Tag match. And if you're new to the stream here, feel free to get your votes in on who you think will win the match. You get it correct, you get 1 point. Person with the most points at the end of the show gets to determine a match on the very next show. So again, the rules are very simple. Rob says, I'm a Hall of Lamer. Famer, okay. Famer. I was going with Lamer. In my own mind. Jesus, I could kill in a tag team match. Like solo? Or do you need a tag team partner? So the defending champions here looking mighty confident tonight. TC going with the challengers. That you're going for your pick. So go, well, I'll mark you down as that unless you change your mind. Or if I'm incorrect with that assumption. With my partner, of course. Alright, opening contest is underway here. Tornado Tag Team. TC going with the challengers here for their pick. So mixed bag here. One member of each is on the advantage, while one member of each is not. Brett talking crap to iRob here. Says your internet is like your career, Rob. At first it sucked and it became amazing and it just kind of stayed in the middle. Ouch. Brett going after iRob here. He wants a new face to face. Crowd booing an awful lot in here as the challengers are on the advantage. Momentum shift as we've seen some heel turns for these guys. iRob says, I'm the current Twitch champ, bro. You are not wrong. Brett says, I'm the world champ. You are also not wrong. Well, we may have a future champ vs. champ match brewing here. As Brett starting to anger iRob in the chat. Big high-risk maneuver from Phoenix there off the top rope. Meanwhile, Rabbit's working on Mikey. Big suplex there. Champ's putting on a clinic. iRob says, Brett sounds like he wants his balls to hurt. He sees I could be a champion too, and I'm not wrong. It's very true. TC, you get the most right here. You can put yourself immediately in a title match next week. Hashtag Dick Punch. We get the DPs going. A little bit of backflip slam there on Mikey. Rabbit showing his agility. Champion's definitely putting on a clinic. In stereo pinfall. And winning and retaining the belts in quick form and fashion is Desi, aka Phoenix, and Rabbit. So Sarah scoring a point. Brett scoring a point. Rabbit scoring a point. Locke and Raven scoring a point. So congrats to Brett returning and Raven returning strong with a point. So incredible. TC says he'd go for a title match. iRob starting off with indeed 0 points. Brett says he's a Legend of Zelda, my dude. Fox says starting things off right, so this might be a close evening tonight. So congrats on the retain there. We only have one other title match this evening, but we do have a #1 contender match. Our next match is featuring Antonio versus Staple Gun. Get your votes in now. So we have Antonio and Staple Gun, and they look to be with company on both sides here. So get your votes in. Andrew going with Antonio. TC going with Antonio. There will be a shortage of DPs tonight. Locke going with Antonio. Sarah going with Staple Gun. iRob going with Staple Gun. Rabbit going with Antonio. Raven going with Staple. Let me know if I missed anybody. Brett going with Staple. Get your votes in now. It's gonna be a close evening tonight. Chris says he's got more dudes to help him. Yeah, numbers may be in their favor or not. I am on Xbox, TC. And I mentioned I'll be getting 2K19 within a week, and I'll be transitioning, making new characters on that. So if you have an Xbox and are getting that and want your character on the roster, or characters, let me know, and we'll get you downloaded from the character creator. iRob says Antonio's shorts are too tight. Can't vote for that. Gotta be tight though with the MMA background. Have a match with him. Gotcha, you can't get 2K19. I mean, do you have 2K18? Because I'll be playing this for a few weeks as I build the roster on 19. I'm not gonna start that right away. I have to do some work on it. Brett says you can see his balls more clearly. Our chat's obsession. Yeah, if you have 2K18, hashtag NAW with your created character, and we'll get you added to the roster next week. I'll put you in a match. iRob asked if it's better when it's tight. You guys have weird obsessions. So we're going to see here if the numbers game plays in their favors. And the importance of this match, I must add, the winner of this match is moving on next week to be a #1 contender for the NAW title, Brett. And it's not just this match, there's a second match, because two people are going to advance tonight to be in a triple threat match for the NAW title next week. So we get a handshake, a little friendly handshake there. That's good sportsmanship, nice to see here in NAW. Very rare do we see that. Right off the bat, Antonio on the advantage here. This is another multi-man match. Indeed. But then again, you may not be in it because you may drop your belt tonight. We don't know who the champion is. Brett says, give me a challenge. Staple Gun on the advantage now. You are facing, yes, you were facing Locksteady. Antonio has flipper feet, says Sarah. They're all long and flat. Rob, that is accurate. Brett is the multi-man match king. Twist of fate there from Staple Gun. Pinfall attempt here already. 2 count. Antonio kicks out. So again, a lot on the line here. This is for a title opportunity. Both of these men recently in the last show, episode 20, were in a pay-per-view main event in the Asylum. Both coming up short with Brett retaining in that multi-man match somehow. But he's still champ. But they both wanted another shot, and they had to go through each other to get it. Could have pinned him there and did not. Pinfall attempt here. 2, kick out. Says that man stands no chance against me, says Brett. Very confident here. And yeah, TC, so I can find you easier, put NEW as the hashtag, and I can do a search there for you. iRob says, I believe that him and I stole the pay-per-view, myself and iRob. And yeah, that triple threat that came down to you and iRob, that was a really good match, in my opinion. Try not to be biased. Brett says, I was the pay-per-view, though. And do a submission hold here. Will Staple Gun tap? TC says, I'm Seth Meyers, so you know who to look for. Perfect. I'll do my best to remember that, and then I'll find you there. If you upload them now, I'll try to get them after the show, so I can have you on the roster tonight. And of course, we're every Wednesday here at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard on this Twitch channel. So if you're not a follower or sub already, definitely do so. And then every 5 events, we do a big pay-per-view event, usually on special days. Perfect. Glad you uploaded that. I'll make sure to grab that for you, and you'll make your debut on the very next show. So welcome to the roster. And what I can do as we transition to 2K19, I'll do my best to recreate your character based on the look you have, and then make sure you don't lose out on being part of that roster as well until you have the ability to get 2K19 yourself. Brett says I should have a pay-per-view named after me. Just NAW Brett. Like that would be the pay-per-view name. So Antonio on the advantage here against Staple Gun. Setting up for what looks to be a power bomb into his patented power bomb. See if he lands it. He lands another one. Into a pin this time, though. And it's a 3 count. Antonio winning this one. Andrea getting her first point of the evening. TC getting your first point. Locke getting your second point. And Rabbit getting your second point. Congrats there. Brett says pathetic. So right now, Locke and Rabbit in the lead with 2 points apiece. Again, the people that have the most points at the end of the show, there's 5 total matches, get to decide a match on the very next show. So it's incredibly important that you do well, obviously, if you want to have some control of what happens here. You can make any match. You can put yourself in the title picture. You can put your enemies in a 3-on-1 handicap match. Anything you want to do. And iRob says low score wins, right? No, this is not golf. Brett very disappointed. TC pleased with the point. So advancing here to next week's show in the triple threat NAW is going to be Antonio. Locksteady says hashtag run the table. Very confident here, being 2-0 in his picks. So congrats there. So we got a little bit of a rivalry started here between these two. So TC with the cheers. Thanks for the cheers. Hip hip. So you are also now, by the way, eligible, since you cheered us, for the Twitch Championship on the show. It's the only way to be eligible for that belt is if you at least cheer 1 point. So we really appreciate that, and we want to reward you by giving you contendership. So quite possibly, you may be facing iRob, who is our current Twitch champion, in your debut. That could be a really good debut for you. And iRob confirmed that. TC is now coming for my belt. Indeed, you were reading my mind. 2 more cheers from TC. Hip hip. Thank you for that. All right, we have a fatal 4-way elimination match. This is also a #1 contendership match for kind of smallish's women's championship. We have Andrea, Amanda, Amy, and Andrea D. Get your votes in now. Rabbit getting their vote in for the arrogant one. Andrea voting for herself. iRob voting Amy. Sarah's voting the arrogant one. Locke voting the arrogant one. Raven voting Andrea. So get your votes in now. Again, I'll repeat them from left to right. We have Andrea, Amanda, Amy, and then Andrea D on the right with the red hair. So Brett also, with Andrea here, says the second greatest thing to happen to NAW. Mighty good compliment there. I'm assuming Brett's the first thing. TC with Andrea as well, sticking with the curve here. So making their entrance first, 1/2 of the DNA Women's Tag Team Champions, we have Amanda. Brett says, I'm the best, of course. Indeed, we kind of figured. iRob says, can I be the 3rd greatest? iRob, you're version 4, so you're the 4th greatest by default. Brett says, I'll think about it in regards to the 3rd greatest remark. Ooh. iRob's taking it. So this is our 3rd of 5 matches. Again, our shows usually last 1 hour to 1 hour 30. Brett says, I'm obviously the 4th. I don't know about that. I have not won that many belts here. Our second entrant in this contest, we have Amy. And again, this is for #1 contendership of kind of smallish's women's championship. We're on episode 21, and she is now officially the longest reigning champion in NAW history, holding it since episode 10. And yes, sorry, Brett, she's beating your record for longest reign. So the longest reign in NAW history goes to kind of smallish with the Women's Championship. She will hold it yet another week because it is not on the line here tonight. She's not making an appearance. However, she will be against the winner of this contest, making an appearance next week. iRob says, but you bring your sexy voice to us every week. If you want more, head on over to our YouTube, youtube.com/dose-of-nerd-acumen. You can listen to this on demand whenever you want.
I do that voluntarily, also, without.
Indeed. Brett says, I'm a 3-time NAW champion. Can she say that? No. But that means you've also lost it twice.
Oh.
Just saying. And Brett, you do hold a record here in NAW. You hold a record for the fastest loss in just under a minute to lock steady inside Hell in a Cell. 3 moves of doom. Can we get a hashtag on that? Brett asking questions here. Can she say that? Let's see. Just saying my name now. Speaking of arrogance, though, coming out now is the other half of the DNA Women's Tag Team Champions. We have the hashtag, by the way, of the 3 Moves of Doom. Thanks for that, Locksteady. You are the originator of that. But we have half of the Tag Team Champs here. Sister Act, as some people were calling it in chat before, so it's a name that's sticking. But they are not working together in this contest. They're working against each other, because we can only have one survivor. Brett says, you want me to finish what I started in the Elimination Chamber. TC says, dang, that roast was hardcore. IROP says, squashed. TC challenging IROP for the belt. So I'm thinking we're going to have TC's debut be the first person to make their debut for a championship. That'd be interesting to see. Best of luck, IROP. And our last, fourth and final entrant in this elimination contest, we have Andrea D. IROP says, when will Team Dad Bod be back? Well, when you stop running the singles show, maybe we can be back in tag action. Because it looks like Rabbit and Phoenix need new challengers, as they're running the tag division now. IROP says, remind him to wear protection. And our third contest is underway, elimination style. We have all 4 here, obviously, in the ring, starting it. Anything goes, pinfall to win. Sisters going after each other, unique approach here. You figured they'd be working together until it came down to the end, but it looks like they want to just get rid of each other off the bat. Brett says, remember when I had a man bun? I do. In your early run of episodes here in NAW, your character did have a man bun. So your character's evolved a little bit over time. As have others. We've seen some characters come and go. We've seen a You're Fired match throughout the history of the show. We saw Rabbit make their debut and defeat Eric the Dead, which is not allowed in chat. If you try to type that, it'll actually flag that. IROP says, why would anyone want a man bun? Brett says, they're sexy as hell. Well, I did attempt to rock one for a short period of time. Then I cut it off and wore a hat. Because the arrogant one did not like it. Meanwhile, Amy on the advantage here against Andrea, and Amanda on the advantage against the other Andrea on the outside. Again, this is elimination style, so it doesn't matter if somebody's pinned. That means they're just out of the match. So no one's going to be saving each other in this one. No one's helping. Action on opposing sides of the ring here on the outside. We have on the right there Amy and Andrea, on the left Andrea and Amanda. Reversal out of that. Andrea back in control. Throwing it into the steel steps. Brett says the arrogant one doesn't know the true meaning of beauty. Man buns are the best. To each their own, I suppose. I enjoyed mine while I had it, but it was a lot of work. A lot of hair to wash. In and out of the ring goes the talent. Meanwhile, Andrea setting up a signature move on other Andrea. Amy scoops up the pinfall here. Ref counting. 3, we have our first person eliminated. No one had voted for her, so everyone still has a chance to score points in this one. Andrea D has been eliminated. We are down to 3. Amanda, Andrea, and Amy. IROP says, I'm the true meaning of beautiful. Beautiful personified. Pinfall attempt on the outside. Amy on Amanda. 2.5. Amanda kicks out of this one. On the line, and what's at stake? Number 1 contendership. The 3 of these women want that belt. Brett says, psych, the NWA, that's a different organization. NAW title is. TC says, wow. Into a roll-up. Just get a 1 count there. Amy kicks out of that. Andrea going after Amanda here. Kicks to the midsection. Amanda in control. Spinning heel kick, dropping Andrea. Pinfall attempt on the outside. Amanda on Andrea. 2.5. Andrea kicks out. All three are still alive and still in this. Getting tossed up the ramp now is Amy. With a little bit of a hardcore match here going. Slamming her down. And that ground is unforgiving. It's not a place you want to be. The sisters now back at it. Into an exploder. Andrea in control. Setting up Amanda for a possible finisher here. Will we see it? IROP says don't kick her in the face like Brie. Amy actually saving Amanda here. What is the reasoning for this? However, it's backfiring. Amanda in control. Stomp right to the gut. That's going to hurt. Andrea setting up an interesting maneuver here. Slamming her down. Andrea in complete control. Working on the arm. Big rights to Amy. Into face first. DDT on the entrance ramp. That's going to hurt. Another exploder. Pinfall attempt. 3 count. Amanda has been eliminated. We are down to 2. Andrea and Amy. Wrenching on the arm is Andrea here. Will Amy tap out? And she does. Our winner and advancing to face kind of smallish next week, Andrea. Scoring points is Rabbit at 3 now. Andrea at 2 points now. Sarah at 2 points now. Locksteady at 3 points. Raven at 2 points. Brett at 2 points. And TC at 2 points. Congratulations, everyone. Pretty much everyone scored points on that one, so it's still a tight game with Locksteady and Rabbit in the lead, tied at 3. We still have 2 matches left, so it's anyone's game here. Someone could pull ahead in these final 2 picks, so we shall see who has the advantage. Brett says, I could catch up. Indeed, there's still a chance. We have 2 matches left. Our next contest is the other of the triple threat for next week. And this is the second of 2 qualifying matches. Of course, we saw Antonio win that one to advance. This one is against Gravity Well and Patrick. Who will win this one? So chat, get your votes in. Gravity Well or Patrick? Andrea voting for Gravity Well. Locke voting for Gravity Well. Brett voting for Gravity Well. Ira voting for Gravity Well. Get your votes in, chat. Rabbit for Gravity Well. Sarah for Patrick. Raven for Patrick. Taking risks here, not going with the herd. It could be beneficial. So again, the winner of this will face Antonio, and the winner of Brett and Locksteady in tonight's main event next week. So a lot is on the line here. A lot of things in the making for next week's show. Both of these men bringing out some members to assist them at ringside. We'll see if that actually works in their favor here. Not sure if it will. IROB says, don't let me down. And TC, if you're still with us, not sure if you are or not, you get your vote in if you want to participate in this one. You're doing really well. TC voting for Patrick here. So we have a mix between the two. So again, it's still anyone's contest here tonight. Raymond says, Locke doesn't look like you. It's too angry unless it's you when David does something dumb. IROB says, I would like 1 point tonight. Maybe IROB, maybe not. Regardless of getting a point though, you're still the Twitch champion for now, so you should feel proud about that. Rob says it's a pretty belt. Indeed. And Rob says, and it's all mine. Not for long, Rob, says TC. Sounds like you got 1 week to hold that thing close, Rob. TC's making his debut and is coming for it. We got one cheers from Rob. Hip, hip. Hip, hip.
Hooray!
She was broken. So thanks for the cheers. Brett says, add me to the match. Jeez. We'll see how well you do in your main event here. Make it a triple threat. Well, Brett, if you win tonight's show, potentially you could make that happen. And that is true, IROB has a point. If you're not on our board for cheering the channel, technically you're not eligible for Twitch Championship. Brett says, I'm a legend, I need to do no such thing. Well, I'm afraid you do. So watch an ad and then give us one cheer. That's all it takes. And this contest here is underway. Again, on the line is qualifying for a triple threat next week to face Antonio and the winner of Brett and Locksteady in the main event tonight. On the advantage right off the bat here is Patrick. Brett says Twitch doesn't love me. Rob says, or win the voting. I suppose that's another way to enter. Technically, it's reserved for the people who cheer. I believe there are only 11 or so. TC says 10 cheers for an Extreme Rules match. There you go. Rob says, usually you pick pretty well, Brett. And you know what's going to happen if you lose. Says Brett. Yeah, you don't get your pick. So on the advantage here is GRAV1TY on Patrick. As I say that, a reversal occurs. And Patrick back on his feet in control. GRAV1TY rolling on the outside. Not the place you want to be here with all these people at ringside waiting. Back and forth action here. Reversal out of that. Big right dropping GRAV1TY. Patrick in control here. Rob says with the dragon screw. Down goes Gravity Well. Wonderful to see any assistance from the people at ringside. Rabbit cheering him on. Is it going to be enough, though, to cheer for your teammate or help them? Gravity Well setting up what looks to be a finisher of his. Can he land it, though? That's the important question to ask. He does land that first one here. Is it enough, though, to put away Patrick? We have a pinfall attempt. Kicks out at 2. Patrick's still in this. Rob says, I am pointless. Brett concurs, stating that you're pointless. Those are some low blows. On the ropes now, Gravity Well setting up something here. What's he have? Off the ropes running. A little heelish tactics. Adding some insult to injury with some of these. Gravity Well going on the outside. Up and over. Lands a splash on his back, but hurting himself in the process. Not sure if that was the best choice. Rob says, those connected. Thank you very much. Pinfall attempt. 2 count. Patrick kicks out of that one. Rabbit says, NAW should recruit everyone, then have Brett the Stinger in this scenario. 25 for a TLC match. TC trying to encourage some cheers here. And Brett says, no problem. Patrick back in control here. Meanwhile, iRob are up on the apron now, looking to get involved in this match. Distracting and egging on Patrick to come face him, allowing Gravity Well to recover a little bit. Is it enough, though? TC says, I want an interesting match. Rabbit said NOW, not nah. Yeah, why did he say that? Interesting. Rabbit says you should make a goal at some point for cheers, and then if the entire chat makes the cheer goal in that show, something happens. I like that idea. We had a tombstone there. Is it enough to put away Gravity Well? And it is. Patrick advancing here with Antonio to next week's main event. Brett says a celebration for me. Locke agrees, likes that idea. So scoring points in this one is Sarah with 3. Raven now with 3. Let's see. And TC with 3. Brett says, what the hell? iRob's still at 0. So we have Sarah with 3, Raven with 3, TC with 3, and Locksteady with 3, all tied. We are heading into the main event of the evening here. Brett, Locksteady on the left, Brett on the right. Chat, get your final votes in for the night. And TC, I got you down. You have 3, so congrats. We have a multiple tie. Votes are coming in. Locksteady. Let's see. Raven voting for Locke. Locke voting for Locke. TC voting for Brett. And Rabbit, the champ, is Brett.
I'm voting for Locke, but only because my husband is on the side of the history. Both of them are watching, so I can't vote on based on who's watching. I'm sorry.
iRob voting for Brett. Rabbit voting for Locke. So get your votes in. Brett, I'm assuming voting for himself here. Him and Andrew every time, says Brett.
I knew I was gonna get yelled at one way or the other.
Brett says I always vote for you. It's true, and he did tonight.
Okay, I will switch and vote for Brett.
Andrea switching her vote.
Sorry.
She can do that.
I'm screwed no matter what. I'm not gonna win.
So get your votes in. I believe I have everyone except for Sarah here. So Sarah, you're going to want to get yours in because you were tied for the lead right now. Desi, thanks for showing up. Voting for Locke, getting his vote in. Welcome to the stream, buddy. Congrats on your title retained tonight. Rabbit switching his votes up. Voting for Brett. Sarah voting for Locke. So I think I have everyone's picks in now. TC, iRob, Brett, Andrew and Rabbit for Brett, Raven, Locke, Desi, and Sarah for Locke. So if I was incorrect with that, please correct me. Once the match starts, the votes are locked. No pun intended. So this is a title versus title match. The DNA champion entering first, Mr. Locksteady. Sporting an interesting logo there on his back. iRob with the single cheer, hip hip.
Right.
Thank you for that. Locksteady says, Rabbit, you traitor. Yikes. Brett says, Lock, no matter how cool you look under that light, you'll never be able to eat any of my grass. I don't know what that means. Rabbit says, check your hangouts. Apparently he has strategy. Rob says I don't eat ass, sorry. Brett says grass. But silence for the champion now. The self-proclaimed greatest champion, the legend, the only three-time NAW champion, attempting to claim another title here in the DNA Championship from Locksteady in this title versus title match. And to add to the mix, the general manager for a day. Locksteady has made this match, but the actual general manager has added to it, adding the title versus title, and one other stipulation here. This is not just a singles contest. This is a 2 out of 3 falls contest with a 10-minute time limit. So if no one scores 2 pinfalls in that time limit, we have a draw, meaning that no one wins any belts and no one gets their picks right. So you better hope one of these two people can score 2 pinfalls in 10 minutes. iRob says, I don't do silence, I look better. Lies. Brett says, oh fuck. This is what it's for. The NAW and DNA Championship on the line here. The winner is going to take home both belts. If there's no winner, however, titles remain with the champions. 2 out of 3 falls, 10-minute time limit. DNA champion there, Locksteady looking prepared. Defending NAW champion there, Brett, also looking prepared and somewhat more focused this evening. Rob asks, you get a point for each fall. You do not. It's per contest. Brett says, I love you, Lock, but I gotta end you. And that's part of what it's for, the NAW Championship. Ten-minute time limit, 2 out of 3 falls. This contest is underway. Codebreaker right off the bat, lock steady going down. Crowd booing. They're very displeased with that. Suplex. Rob says use the dick punch as they work. Knee strike to the face. Lock steady in control here. Brett says the hate hurts. Sidewalk slam, Brett going down. Lock steady in complete control right now. Off the ropes. Fireman's carry reversal. 9 minutes remain. Dropping him with that kick. Kicks to the face. Block says, only thing I need tonight is your title reign. Man. Harsh words. Little leg sweep there. Brett going down. Brett says, my title, my show, my company. Simple as that. IRUP says, get me a point. Lifting him up on the shoulders. What is he going to do here? Onto the ropes. TC says, good match so far. First pinfall attempt. Kick out at 1. Less than 8 minutes remain. Our first pinfall. Strikes to the face. Wearing his opponent down here. Brett says, I would love to reverse. Here's your reversal. Brett getting back in control here. Down with the slam. Brett heading outside. What is he thinking? We have a weapon. He went and got a bat. Oh, as he's using it, lock steady, rips it out of his hands. Brett takes it back. Back and forth action here with the first weapon. Sliding it into his face now. Dropping lock steady. That is not good. Pinfall attempt. Not even 2. Kicking out there. 7 minutes remain. Brett says, I'm thinking. A little bit of style and flair with that move set. Setting up what looks to be his first finisher attempt. Pile driver, lands it. Lock steady down. Could this be enough? Setting up another move here. Lands his finisher. Lock steady down and out. Pinfall attempt. Can we see our first pin of the 2 out of 3? Kick out at 2. Lock steady still in this after the finisher. Unbelievable. Brett going high risk. Lands the swanton. Rabbit on the outside looking very displeased. Managing his talent currently. Less than 6 remain. TC says, ah. Brett says he actually kicked out. Rob says because he got kids. Indeed. Reversal. Lock steady up, but gets out of that one. Kick to the midsection. Setting up a pedigree. Lands it. We've seen Brett not survive a pedigree before. Will he have enough here? 3 count. First pinfall. Scores lock steady up 1-0 in this 2 out of 3 falls here. We're at the halfway mark of this contest. And right now leading it is Lock Steady, 1-0. Brett has a long hill to climb if he wants to come back in this contest. Buckle bomb into the turnbuckle there. Lock Steady going high risk. Lands it, crowns him. Brett says I basically gave him that. 4:30 remains. Spinebuster. Setting up a chain of moves here. Could we see the end of Brett as champion? Backbreaker. Setting up another pedigree. This could be the beginning of the end. Lands it. Pinfall attempt. 3 count. New NAW champion. 2-time champion now. Lock Steady. Congratulations. Lock Steady counting along in chat on that one. Raven scoring a point. Putting him at 4. Lock Steady scoring a point. Putting him at 4. Desi scoring a point. Putting him at 1. And Sarah scoring a point. Putting her at 4. Meaning we have a 3-way tie. Brett says, I'll be back. Lock says, good match, Brett. iRob, 0 points. And indeed, dual champ is Lock Steady. Sarah with the 5 cheers. Hip hip.
Right.
So congratulations on that. Raven, welcome back. You did it. So Raven, I need your pick for what you want to see next week. Lock Steady, I want your pick. And Sarah, I want your pick. So get your picks in now. So TC, indeed, you still have a title shot. One of the matches announced and confirmed for next week is TC versus iRob for the Twitch Championship, making TC's debut. Lock Steady, the people that are tied is Raven, Lock Steady, and Sarah. Brett says, only if it was a multi-man match. Sarah says, do I have that point count correct? I'm fairly confident I do. Yep. No, Sarah, you had 3. You picked Patrick in the last match. And Locke picked me, so he didn't get that. So you guys, you tied him in that one. So no, Sarah, you definitely had 3 right going in the main event. So get your picks in now. Rob says, did I win anything? No, you did not. The hearts and minds of the people. Brett says, give me a hug, Lock. Raven, you still with us? We need your pick. Sarah and Lock Steady, we need your picks. Pick your match. 2 matches confirmed already. TCI Rob, Antonio, Patrick, and Lock Steady. So I need your 3 matches, and that'll actually determine our card for next week. All right, Raven, I need your pick. You tied for win. Cookie Monster and Big Bird, they're actually not on my roster anymore, Sarah. I'll have to have you make another pick, unfortunately. I could swap out those people for the horror characters that I had at the silent pay-per-view if you're alright with that, Sarah. Yeah, Rob, you should enlighten TC. Perfect. So yeah, Zinder versus horror characters. You got it. So Sarah's got her pick in. Raven, we need yours, and Locksteady, we need yours. Fine, Locksteady. Let's pick a match. I mean, really? Saying, And Raven, if you want to be back in the picture, you can make the triple threat with Antonio, Patrick, and Locksteady a fatal four-way. Put yourself in it. Raven says I'll face Lock for one of the belts. So you can either be one-on-one for the DNA title or join the triple threat, make it a fatal four-way for the NAW Championship, Raven. Your call. So yeah, he says do that. So Raven is joining the main event next week, making it a fatal four-way, upping the ante and lowering the odds for Locksteady to retain the NAW Championship. So all we are is waiting on you, Mr. Locksteady. I'll give you a minute or two, and then I'm going to decide for you. Brett says you finally joined the two-time champion club. Brett versus Nightbot, Extreme Rules match. You got it. All right, perfect. So it's decided. What's up, 6-star, 7-star? Welcome to the stream here. So it's decided next week. We have some of our matches set. Raven making his presence known and returning to NAW, heading right for the title picture. So Raven says he wants to make it Brett versus Nightbot. Loser leaves Gnaw. Interesting. Chat, let's hear your reaction on that one. Yay or nay? Let's get a yay or nay in chat. That could be interesting. That'll be the last thing we decide here in tonight's show. We get a no from Brett. He's gonna have to disagree. TC says no. Sarah says LOL. Rob says let Brett stay. So everyone is on Brett's side here. So you guys are very nice people. But this has been NAW episode 21. Join us next week, Wednesday, for episode 22. You heard it already. Some of the matches are decided. Of course, we have Zinder in a fatal four-way match against some of the classic horror icons of the past. We have TC making his debut against iRob for the Twitch Championship. We have now a fatal four-way match, Antonio, Patrick, Locksteady, and Raven for the NAW Championship. We're also going to see Brett versus Nightbot in an Extreme Rules match. And we may even see Rabbit and Phoenix defending their tag team belts yet again next week. So join us next week, Wednesday. See all that action and more. And of course, every single Wednesday here on Twitch, on the Dose of Nerd Acumen channel, you can see this content at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, join us this Friday at 8:30 for our 1-year celebration of our show. We are celebrating with Super Mario Party on the Switch. Rabbit, Blocksteady, and myself will be here, reminiscing and getting pissed off about not obtaining stars when we clearly did better in the mini games. And it'll probably result in one of us throwing a temper tantrum. So you're not going to want to miss that. It's our 1-year celebration of DNA as a group. So again, follow us, sub us, find us on all the little social media links that you saw throughout the show. And we appreciate you guys checking us out for each of our shows we do. And closing out says, the people love me, says Brett, Nightbot is trash. IROB says, I haven't got to DP him yet. TC says, wow, let's go. No dick punch. IROB says there will be dick punches. Raven's got money on Rabbit getting mad. So if Raven is going to be right, you're going to want to check us out this Friday. And again, thank you all for watching yet another episode of NAW. And we'll see you all this Friday for the 53rd episode of the Weekly Dosage. Take care.